Today is Saturday the 11th of January, it's around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and today is actually for me a chance to have a day off. Our conductor, Nicola Luisotti, wanted some time to really work on the recitatives in the opera with the singers, so he took the rehearsal today. And for me it gives me a chance to just step back from the opera a little bit, which I think after a very long and intense and productive and great week is really needed now. So the weekend offers me a chance to revisit a couple of scenes. I'm a little bit in doubt still about the ending. There are a couple of options for the last scene that I need to explore and just think about. The other day when we made the big party scene, which I've talked about before, we made a video of it. So over the weekend I'm probably going to watch that a couple of times and maybe suggest some changes or think about how I can clarify that scene, because there's, I think, a bit too much going on. It needs some clarity at the moment. Also to think about a couple of other things before I go into the last week of rehearsals before we hit the stage. So a pretty important week, because this is really the week where I have a chance to change anything if I want to do that and to put things together. The other day we had a really great rehearsal with the fight director. An important thing in Don Giovanni is the violence. Giovanni kills a man. There's also a scene where he beats up Mazzetto, and a couple of other things which just, if violence on stage is faked and doesn't look good, it really can be quite embarrassing. So it's quite important to do that well. And we are lucky enough that there are great people who specializes in this, and our fight director, Kate, really is great. She hasn't much experience in opera, which in a way is just great because she comes with a real curiosity, but she is really very experienced with working with actors for various shows. And she worked with us for 3 hours the other day on the various scenes with violence in Don Giovanni. A really strange thing to do, really, when you think about it, but it worked out so well, and I think it had exactly the quality that I wanted. You have to think about, when you do these things, what does it tell? So it's not just that the violence looks convincing or the fighting looks convincing, but also what does it tell? For instance, I want the first scene where Giovanni kills the father of Donna to look like an accident. It needs to look messy, like something that gets out of hand, not like a duel or something that's planned. And on the other hand, when Giovanni beats up Mazzetto, I want it to be quite quick and explosive, so that it's almost like it hits Mazzetto before he knows what happened, in order to explain that Mazzetto, who I think is a much more strong and probably much more used to beating up people, why Giovanni gets the upper hand on him. So the element of surprise was important for that one. Okay, it's time to think about something else than Don Giovanni and have a bit of weekend, I think, now. So I'm going to try and do that, catch up with my day job. There are, I think, a couple of hundred emails waiting for me, and also maybe just to sleep and give myself a little break. I think I need it. It's important to have headspace to be able to come back on Monday and really look at the things. Have a great weekend, and speak to you again soon.